I never expected that a community college degree in creative writing would somehow evolve into me being out in the real world solving mysteries. I mean, I was guessing that with an artistic major like mine, I'd probably end up working out of my field. But at a place like a fast food restaurant, or maybe a department store, if I was lucky. But life has always been known for throwing curveballs, I suppose, and who knew they'd actually be worth writing about? An average writer with above-average detective skills, critics called me. I ignored the blatant jab at my writing ability to relish in the fact that something I had written had actual critics. My writing had made it through the never-ending stack of submissions to independent literary journals and other various obscure magazines, and was now being read and talked about by other human beings. To my own surprise, however, the biggest source of my excitement wasn't my first success as an author, but as a detective. No one believed me when I said that Mrs. Jenkins' death wasn't what it seemed. Even someone who talked to the neighbors as little as I did would have known her well enough to confirm that she had no living family members. She would wistfully mention the lack thereof during the awkward conversations initiated by accidental eye contact while picking up our mail. So when her body was found with a currently dated letter from the brother I knew to have been dead for 5 years, I knew something was off. It was all a bit too involved of an adventure to actually get into right now. Long story short, I searched some records, talked to a few of her friends, broke into her apartment, and eventually had enough evidence to prove my theory. Turns out, the angry letter from her brother and the very suspicious gunshot wound to her head were just post-mortem attempts at staging a murder. In reality, the sushi chef at a struggling restaurant downtown prepared some pufferfish incorrectly, and the toxins were enough to kill the poor woman, rather than deal with the consequences brought on by the health inspectors. They made up a motive and set up a scene in an alleyway. Definitely creative. Fast forward to yesterday afternoon, I received a completely unexpected phone call. A small police force in the town of Carlisle, Connecticut, who knows how, had read my publication and tracked down my number. They're apparently in over their heads with some kind of unusual case, and wanted to find someone who could give a second opinion on everything that's been happening there during the past week. Based on how small their force is, and how sleepy their town sounds, it's my best guess that they don't normally have much crime to deal with, and this might be a bit out of their wheelhouse. To be fair, it's also a bit out of my wheelhouse, but they sounded pretty desperate on the phone. They'd have to be, and wanted to fly me there as quickly as possible. I don't know anything about the case, but they promised to fill me in once I arrive and get settled. Hopefully they realize I don't really know what I'm doing. But hey, that makes for a much more interesting story for the readers. So here I am, about to embark on my very first official case. I have a feeling that I have no idea what I've gotten myself into. I should answer that. Hello?
Hello, Miss Pendrick. This is Sergeant Russell. I'm going to be your contact down at the Carlisle Police Department during your stay here. Glad to see you had no problem finding your accommodation, and I hope you've had some time to get acquainted with the place.
Good to meet you, Sergeant.
It really worked in our favor that you were able to fly up here on such a short notice. We knew it was a long shot, but it's only been a week and we're already losing our minds with this case. To put it mildly, the past week has been overwhelming. 3 people gone missing, one right after the other. Only a couple days in between each. Our entire department is 3 people, for crying out loud. We're not equipped to handle something like this. What we're equipped for is either graffiti related or have to deal with noise ordinance.
3 people in a week? All in this little town?
We've never seen anything like it. The worst part is that there's so many unknowns. Our gut is telling us that these disappearances are connected. You'd think they have to be, right? But try explaining that to the county chief. Without concrete proof, he just sees this all as a whole lot of coincidence, and potentially not even a crime. We're getting no outside help with this, no matter how much we beg.
Ah, okay. Well, that answers why you brought me up here, rather than literally any cop in the state. That one was the real mystery.
Desperate times calls for desperate measures, they say. No offense.
None taken, trust me.
Officer Vasquez was the one to read your publication. He relayed it to me afterwards, and we all agreed that you seemed to have some pretty solid intuition. It was his idea to reach out. Anyway, let's get down to business. I'll be sending you some documents that we...
Huh?
Unauthorized call time expended. Please enter 4-digit PIN to continue to use line.
Hello?
Take a hint.
Do you have a second?
Fine. What? Who even are you? Actually, you know what? Don't tell me. You've already wasted enough of my time.
I'm really sorry to bother you. I just have one quick question. Then I'll get out of your hair.
Well, spit it out. What do you want?
I just moved into the room next door and...
My condolences. To both me and you.
And I was kicked off the landline. It's asking for some kind of PIN to activate it again.
If I tell you how that thing works, can we agree that this door is now permanently off limits?
You don't need to ask me twice.
Now you're getting me. The phone code is 9, followed by your room number.
Oh, see, was that really so hard?
Hey now, don't try to fight me at my own game. You don't have the face for it.
Hey, I never caught your name.
Did I drop it?
That exchange really brightened up my day. I need something for this. I need something for this. I don't want to sleep now.
Unauthorized call time expended. Please enter 4-digit PIN to continue to use line. Caller authorized. Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and dial again.
Carlisle Police Department, Sergeant Russell speaking.
Hi, Sergeant. It's Penelope again.
Penelope! We got a guy here who bet you were already hightailing it back to Virginia. Zimmerman, you owe me 20.
Not quite yet, although I'll probably end up questioning that decision. Sorry about that, by the way. Getting cut off like that. The landline here is a little funky.
You're back, and that's all that matters. Now, what had I been saying?
I believe you were in the middle of praising my intuition.
Your first compliment is a freebie. The next one you'll have to earn. Right. Documents. Missing person reports we have filled out for the individuals. I'll be sending you some copies soon, so look out for that.
These 3 people that went missing, what can you tell me about them?
The first call we received concerned a Mr. Gerald Cook. You know the gentleman, late 60s, who owns a bookstore on Main Street. The second, more concerning call was from Mrs. Eileen Davies, in reference to her son, Terrence. The boy had apparently not come home after school that day. He's only 15, which has really started to raise some red flags. Then, only 2 days after that, a third person was called in. The caller couldn't provide a name for the woman, only said that she's been coming to a specific diner for breakfast at 9 a.m. sharp every single day for years. This was the 3rd day in a row she hadn't shown, and the caller found this to be very out of character.
Can you tell me more about Gerald Cook?
Never met the man personally, but I had heard his name prior to all this. His bookstore, Novel Books, is a bit of a hub in this part of town. The place is practically a rec center for the entire population of Carlisle over the age of 65. In fact, it was one of those old timers that made the call at the crack of dawn to tell us that Gerald had to open up shop as usual and was nowhere to be found.
I take it Gerald is normally very punctual?
Doesn't sound like the type to take spontaneous sick days, if that's what you mean. If interviewing the regulars told us one thing, it's that Gerald has never pulled a stunt like this in all his days of working there. That day we went out and interviewed maybe 20 or so people, and Vasquez canvassed the place once we got inside. Nothing. The place was pristine. Cash register locked. Interviewees all giving the same story.
How did you end up getting inside?
There was a guy hanging around there. Michael something? Nobody asked you! Yeah, Mitchell Hart. Said he had a spare key. Seemed to know Gerald well. We talked to him for a while, but he didn't really say anything that everyone else hadn't told us already. He He took us to Gerald's apartment, right above the store, but when we knocked, there was no answer.
I wonder if anyone else has a key besides this Mitchell guy. Maybe Gerald was mugged and someone pickpocketed him.
It'll be right out of the ne'er-do-well's playbook. Mug an old guy in an alley, steal his keys, rob his place, then lock up on the way out. That's why right now, our first priority is to get into that cash register. If money is missing, that'll simplify everything and give us a little direction, for Gerald's case at least. The address of Gerald's bookstore is 225 Main Street. Go take a look around for yourself.
Can you tell me more about Terrence Davies?
Terrence just turned 15 a few months ago. If he was any younger, all the cops in the county would be swarming around this case like flies to a rotten lunch meat. He's right at the age where the chief can shrug his disappearance off as a rebellious kid doing rebellious kid things.
Does Terrence have any history of running away or causing trouble?
Not according to his mother, at least not according to what we could piece together through the tears. Either way, we suspect she views her son through some rose-colored glasses, because interviews from fellow students and teachers at his high school painted a slightly different picture of him.
Does he get into trouble at school?
It sounds like he's mellowed out some now that he started high school. He holds quite the impressive record for previous years, but his current teachers just described him as some disruptive class clown type, not some menace to society.
What exactly has he done?
You name it. He had a rebellious streak in middle school according to the school documents, suspended multiple times, never hurt anyone or anything like that, but played hooky a lot. Pulled the fire alarm once and also called a fake bomb threat in as a joke in the 7th grade.
Okay, then. I can kinda see where the chief is coming from.
But even if Terrence is just falling back into old habits, we still need to track him down for his mother's sanity. And by extension, ours.
Well, when and where was Terrence last seen?
Teachers, classmates, and friends all said he left school at 3 p.m. with the rest of the kids. He told his friends he was going hiking, which they said was a regular thing he'd do. And no one has heard from him since.
Did anyone say where he normally hikes?
No, there are hundreds of trails around this area, not to mention the woods and cliffs. He could have gone anywhere that day.
What's his family life like?
It's just him and Mrs. Davies. No siblings, no father in the picture. Explains why she's so attached.
Could you tell if there was any strain in their relationship?
Who knows? From the sound of it, they spend more time together than an average mother and teenage son duo. But can't see under the surface. We'll get you in contact with Mrs. Davies. Once she calms down a bit, I'm sure she'll give us more to work with. Not sure how much luck you'll have with her, but feel free to give her a call. Phone number is 203-555-0927.
Can you tell me more about the diner woman?
Yes, Jane Dell. I wanted to call her Victim X. I thought it was catchy. But protocol. She's our shakiest case by far. Called in missing by a waitress just because she decided not to get breakfast at the Sunrise Diner for a couple mornings? No wonder the chief won't give us the time of day.
But the waitress thought she had good enough reason to notify the police. So there must be something to it.
It's true that she's genuinely concerned. Said that the very few times Jane didn't show over the past couple of years, she leave little notes on napkins with the tip the day before. Not this time.
Notes? She didn't just tell them?
The waitress describes Jane as an incredibly quiet, solitary woman. Said when Jane first started eating there, she thought Jane was deaf, but no, just quiet.
Well, if she was really that reclusive, that would explain why nobody knows anything about her.
There's our problem. Jane would only speak to order and say pleases and thank yous. She didn't sit around chatting up the help for hours.
If she wasn't there to hang out with the waitresses, what did she do every single morning?
Read books, lots of them. And not just the type with shirtless cowboys on the cover, but books with real substance, textbooks even, in all subjects, especially history. The waitresses said that Jane would set up every day in the same booth, take a few books out of her bag, and read and take notes while she ate.
Interesting. I wonder if doing this was work-related or a hobby. What did you investigate, and who did you interview in regards to Jane?
What can we investigate? No one knows her name, address, place of work, family, acquaintances. We examined her favorite booth at the diner and interviewed everyone who works there. All we know is that she's been coming there for roughly 3 years, is quiet, reads a lot, and has tried everything on the menu.
None of the workers said she was acting differently the last day she was seen?
No one was paying enough attention to remember. But one of the waitresses did hold on to what's currently our shred of evidence, a napkin with some chicken scratch. She was planning to return it to Jane the next day, but you know how that story ends.
Did she frequent any other locations besides the diner?
My only guess would be a library. Owning all those books would cost an arm and a leg. Thing is, Carlisle doesn't have its own library, and there are too many to count in neighboring towns.
Wow, this is like trying to track down a ghost.
You're telling me. All I can say is keep an eye open while you're investigating the other two. That's the best we can do right now. I'll send the napkin along with the other documents. So, Penelope, now that you know more about what we're dealing with here, what's going on through your head?
I think the disappearances are related. In a town this small, with barely any history of crime, it just seems too unusual to just be coincidence. Even if we don't see any links between the victims yet, once we dig deeper, I'm fairly certain we will.
Interesting hypothesis. We'll see if it holds up. But first things first, keep an eye out for those reports we'll be sending.
Thanks, Sergeant. I guess it's time for me to get out there and start playing detective.
Good luck. Call us anytime. And thanks again for coming up here. Having a new nose around to sniff out leads might be exactly what we need.
Terrence, is that you?
I'm sorry. Mrs. Davies?
Oh, yes, this is she.
My name is Penelope Pendrick. I'm working with the Carlisle police to help find your son. Would you have a moment to answer a few questions?
Again? All right.
Can you please describe the entire day he went missing in detail? From morning to evening.
Let's see. I got up at 6:30 as usual and started making breakfast. Terrence sets his alarm for 7 and ate quickly after he got up. He had me sign a permission slip for some field trip, and then he gathered all his school supplies and left. As he was leaving, we argued about some stupid little thing. I think he had left his jacket on the floor. And that was the last time I saw him angry at me. I just keep playing that over and over in my head and hating myself for it. I left work at 5, and he was out when I arrived back, which isn't too abnormal, but when he wasn't home an hour later, I started calling around to his friends' moms. He wasn't over anyone else's house. Then it got dark, and he still wasn't home. That's when I called the police.
Thank you for sharing this with me. I'm sure it's not easy to think about. Now, you mentioned a field trip. Can you tell me more about that?
It was for his art class. A gallery that they were going to tour that day, not far from here.
Do you remember the name of the gallery?
Something pretentious. Bold decisions, bold and brash. I have the paper around here somewhere. That's right. Bold depictions. 3297 Ocala Street, Oakford, Connecticut.
Thank you. It could be a start.
If you say so.
I heard that Terrence told his friends he was going hiking after school was out. Do you know of anywhere in particular he likes to go?
It could have been anywhere. That boy's practically explored the entire state.
Could he have gotten lost or hurt somewhere in the woods?
No! No, impossible. He was a Boy Scout for years, and he's even taken courses on outdoor survival. This kind of thing is what he lives for.
I have no doubt he's very competent, Mrs. Davies, but sometimes things can happen that are out of a person's control.
I said it's impossible. I know my son.
All right. I'm sorry I came off as implying otherwise. Did anyone mention anything else out of the ordinary that happened at school that day?
No. I don't think so. You know what? I need to go. I can't do this anymore. It's too much. Thinking about that day is too much.
Well, Eileen? Are you there? Poor lady. Whoa, what happened here? Looks like no one is using this right now. Something about this shopping list is unusual. I'd better hold on to it. This could come in handy. I don't think that's right. Sorry, Joe.
Excuse me. Miss, I think you might have the wrong address.
Thanks for your concern. But no, this is...
Sorry, let me rephrase. Bookstores, generally speaking, are for those who can read.
What?
The front door. There is a sign that states in perfect English that this store is closed.
Interesting observation from a guy sitting alone in a closed store.
Touché.
My name is Penelope Pendrick, and I was sent over by the Carlisle police to do some further investigation on the disappearance of Gerald Cook.
I apologize for doubting your ethics and literacy. The name's Mitchell. Under usual circumstances, I helped Gerald run novel books, but now I'm useless.
Mitchell Hart. The sergeant mentioned you to me. You have a key to the store, correct? Logically, that would make you a prime suspect.
Listen here, girl. No, that's fair. If I were in your shoes, I'd be thinking the same thing.
Can you describe to me the last time you saw Gerald that day?
Like I told the cops, it was a completely normal day. I was sitting here for an hour or so before closing time, and then at 7 o'clock to help corral any stragglers out of the store. I said goodnight to Gerald, who was doing the usual nightly organizing and pencil pushing, and headed home.
So he wasn't acting unusually in any way?
Not at all. Albeit the store was having a busy streak, which kept Gerald pretty occupied. So no downtime to shoot the breeze.
Okay. Thanks for the information. Would you mind if I asked you some more questions?
Ask away.
What do you usually do to help Gerald run the store?
Sit in this corner all day? Not even kidding. If a customer has a question on where to find something, I locate it for them on the shelves. I also give suggestions of good reads based on what kind of genres they're looking for. Classics, thrillers, historical fictions, how-tos, you name it.
Do you have a job besides this? It sounds like you spend a lot of time here.
Technically speaking, I work in an insurance agency, but the past few months they've been cutting my hours. I used to spend time here to relax after work, but when my job situation started to go downhill, Gerald offered to take me on as a part-time employee.
Wow, that's really generous of him.
Gerald's just a genuinely good-hearted person, who are unfortunately becoming a dying breed.
You mentioned the store being busy the day Gerald disappeared. Abnormally busy?
You'd be surprised how much traffic this place gets. A day like that happens at least twice a week.
Gerald sounds like a real business mastermind running such a successful little mom-and-pop shop.
I wish he were here. He'd get a kick out of being called a business mastermind. He's not a businessman at heart, but he's got a way of making everyone feel like family. It's like he runs a community center, not a bookstore.
Has Gerald ever gone on a spontaneous vacation or trip?
The man is the antithesis of spontaneity. I've known him around 5 years, and he's never left the store out of the blue like this.
The day Gerald went missing, what did you do that evening after you went home at 7 p.m.?
Probably thawed some frozen dinner and watched TV. The new episode of Crypt Diggers would have been on at 8, and then I normally go to bed at 11.
Would it be okay if I took a look around?
Go right ahead. The cop here only did a quick walkthrough. Didn't seem very thorough.